It is preventable, but yet distracted driving is really a problem that plagues everyone on the roadways. And it is Distracted Driving Awareness Month. So joining us today to shed a little light on, not just the problem, but like what you actually see as the impact on this. We have RN and Trauma Program Director at HCA HealthONE Mountain Ridge, Kerri Wenke. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure, thank you.
I mean, we talk about this being a problem. You see the impact.
And that's the scary part of it, right? Because you see that other side. I think a lot of us feel like we're invincible. So first, give us an overview of what qualifies as a distracted driver.
So first, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. And it is a very important topic and something that we see in our trauma center every day. And so the impacts that we see are not just health related, but they can be financial or legal as well. But distracted driving, when we typically hear distracted driving, we think of our phones and it's phone calls or texts. But it can be much more than that, and it can be things that you're doing and not even realizing it.
Really?
So while we think of phones and texting, it can be anything that takes our eyes, hands, or mind off of the road.
There's been a lot of times where I feel like even I'm driving and I think, wait, just refocus on the road. Because there's a million things, even in my car. Cars are like spaceships these days.
Or your mind will wander and you don't even realize it.
It's true.
And I have a little one in the back seat squawking as well.
Absolutely. Yes, we had a conversation earlier today about, I have 2 kids as well. And the number of times I'm driving and listening for directions, or there's more traffic on the road and I'm like, hey, I love this story, but I need to hear it at home. Like I really need to concentrate right now. And now that my daughter's older and driving herself, I see her implementing that too.
Wonderful. Model that behavior.
Absolutely.
That is great.
That is a good one. Talk about you talk about the impacts in the trauma centers.
Yes.
When it comes to a crash or an accident, like what does that mean? Like what is the body taking on in these? What are you seeing this from the patients?
Impact, right? So, I mean, I'm not a physics major, but there is definitely a force that's applied, and it doesn't stop until something makes it stop. Whether it's another car, a stationary object, or somebody walking in the street that you didn't have time to react to.
Oh my goodness, like just right then and there, when you paint it that way, nobody wants to be a part of that or be responsible for that. That would ruin your life as well.
Yeah,
How do you forgive yourself?
Yeah, and medically, I mean, the impacts medically from even a serious crash, it doesn't always have to be fatality. It can be traumatic brain injuries that are life-changing, spinal cord injuries. So really anytime, whether consciously or subconsciously, you're distracted, you're making the choice not just for yourself, but your family, those around you, and their families.
Who would you say is most at risk
of distracted driving? I think all of us.
Okay.
Really, and again, just driving here. And I think because I'm here today talking about it, I was really cognizant of my own actions in the car. Whether it's, I didn't pick up my phone, but, I'm driving on E470, my mind's wandering a little bit. Or you're like, oh, wait, I'm already here, or I missed my turn. While you might be hands on the wheel and looking at the road, there's those little your mind might be drifting.
I want to ask you one really last quick question before we go. Is recently the state shared with us some data that they are seeing a decrease in distracted driving when it comes to citations, at least. I don't expect you to be the keeper of the data, but just anecdotally working in a hospital, does it feel that way to you, that you've seen it go down in recent years? And the state says it's because they've passed new laws that penalize people differently. Do you think in reality it feels like it's less?
I think trauma across, especially the Denver metro area last year, statistically was a little bit different volumes. Already this year, though, I will say at the facility I'm at, we've seen motorcycle crashes, auto pedestrians, and motor vehicle crashes rise compared to years prior.
Now, we have very little time, but I really want your tips. If you could quickly give us some tips to be present. Be present. Yes.
Yeah, so I would say set your phone in the back seat. Right? While hands-free devices are helpful, they do not take away the full distraction techniques. Turning your radio on into what you want to listen to before you even put the car in drive. And then again, being mindful of who's in your car and set the precedence of, I need to concentrate right now, or things like that.
That's good advice.
Taking ownership of being mindful of what you're doing.
And modeling that behavior to the future drivers.
Yes.
All right, Kerri, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Be safe, everyone.
Yes,
Super important.